with Daniela Junco and Swell Subla, co-producers, co-writers, lead actor, lead actress with this fabulous film Alone. Congratulations and welcome to Madrid.
Thank you.
Excuse my croaky voice, it's air conditioning and probably too much red wine a couple of nights ago. Anyway, thank you for being here. Who would like to tell me the synopsis of this film?
Swell.
You sure? Okay. Synopsis of the film. It's basically, we're showing the struggle of a couple within their usual life, and they confront a specific condition within their couple. Ella and Gabriel are going through hard times, and at some point in the story we realize that a tragedy is going to happen which is going to change both lives.
Sweet, short, succinct. I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Were you always going to be the lead roles? I'm asking that because often I've spoken to filmmakers and they were going to be, but it didn't happen. But was it always your intention to be the leads in this? Or should I say, did you write it for yourselves in mind? With yourselves in mind?
Indeed, yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did. We wrote that film. We live in Los Angeles, and we thought we would produce our own film.
You're Swiss, I think, aren't you?
Swiss.
You're Swiss, right, okay.
Yeah. And Daniela is Brazilian-Japanese. And we thought we'd produce our own film, write it, and act in it, and being the lead actors. We didn't think, we wanted to have like the full attention on us and show our skills as actors, mostly. It ended up to be I think a good movie based on the feedbacks we got, so we're quite happy about this, but yeah.
I spoke to a male and female that had co-written a screenplay yesterday, and as soon as they said they wrote it together, there was light bulbs going off in my head, because I'm kind of thinking, if you're both writing a script at the same time or working on it together, there could be tension, and that's what I said to them, and they answered that by saying, actually, we didn't fall into that trap. The guy wrote it first, and then, which was Atom, and then the Filipino couple, and then Anna came in and would then work on the script, and then they would hone it together. So I suppose the question I'm asking is, how did you do the script together? Did you do it together, or did someone build it and then you work off it that way?
No.
You want to tell them?
No, please.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We wrote the script together. Daniela has many talents, but one specific talent is she would understand the subtle details, how to like make it more specific for the audience to understand where we were going with our plot.
Do you mean more realistic as well?
Realistic, yeah, for sure, but like really going into details in order to be precise in where we were going. Daniela is my acting coach as well.
Yeah.
She's a very good actor, that's why, she knows me very well, so she knows how to trigger certain things. And for the script, we basically, I would write a little bit, she would write another part, and we would like sort of discuss it afterwards and see if there are changes. Of course, with the director, he's not here, but he helped us a lot as well to improve the script. So
I have seen the film, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
You have?
Yeah, and I found it was very good. It's very powerful, and it's the dynamic between the two, and the writing's really good. And have you worked before writing? This isn't your first foray into writing?
This is our first film, yeah.
Right,
writing,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So when you're putting this together and building it together, I wasn't there, but I'm guessing you're going to both have different ideas about how different things work, because it's a human inevitability, I guess.
Absolutely.
How did you resolve that? You were always right, I reckon.
No.
How did you resolve it?
No, not at all. He's Swiss. He never gives up. So
he's the Roger Federer of
Yes.
screenplays, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that it worked because we are so different. He's very intense, and I am kind of quiet when we work together, so it's like I think that's why it worked, because if I was as intense as he is, giving my opinion or ideas, that the movie wouldn't have been made. But because I took time to making understand what I wanted, then it worked. But it was a very, very hard process because it's a lot of tension when you have to act, produce.
Right.
You're not just sitting there in acting and just expecting that everything is going to go okay, that the team has got your back. It's you're responsible for everything. This was a choice to let's make it and let's send it to Cannes. And so we had a vision and we worked really, really hard. So while we acted, we also had to pay attention to the small details, even the sound, everything. And that was very, very hard. Writing together, producing together, and then acting together.
And editing. The
right.
editing, and that's I think that's the hardest part as actors, for actors, is to be involved in the production, like she said, but as well the editing, because you don't want to, we're not objective enough to judge our performance.
That's the killer blow, I think. We were talking about this earlier, and the term I used was, sacrificing your babies in terms of someone's got to make a tough decision. And sorry, I'm sort of speaking for you, but I'm just giving you what was said to me. And the woman I was talking to was a documentary maker. She said it is a killer blow. You get someone in that's nothing to do. She's got this award-winning, Oscar-winning documentary editor in, and she said there was scenes in it. I said we've got to stay, and he said, listen, I've made 60 films. Who's right? And she said, he's got to give in. She said it's really, really tough. But she said absolutely, you must have someone in that's not connected with the film. So that's kind of my question. Do you think that's true? That's objective.
Absolutely. You need to have you need to trust your director in that sense, because he's gonna pick the right moments to show to the audience. And I think that's where the trust must be here with between you and your director. It's very important. Of course, while you're performing, but even after performing, because if you trust him, then you're fine. You don't have to be involved in that part. And I personally would rather not be involved in the editing. It's too hard to watch yourself sometimes.
Because there's things you want to keep and they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah,
maybe.
But even beyond that, I think it's hard to pick your best performance. It's hard to judge yourself and think this is the best thing, because as yourself you're gonna judge yourself looking at the monitor and you're gonna think, oh, that's my best moment. But the director is gonna be more objective and will find the right little details that he's gonna think, no, actually this is not it. So
do you look at your performances? Some actors and actresses do, and some don't. Are you comfortable with doing that?
I prefer not to. So I really trust my director. I do. I trust my acting, but I have to respect that the director has been doing that, and he's behind the camera and he has the vision as well.
Exactly.
If you don't, then everything is lost. Because you can be 100% sure that the actor is going to say, that scene was great, and the director is going to say, no, I'm going to use the one that you thought it was bad.
Oh.
Yeah, and he'll be probably right. So...
Is it possible to explain, I don't think I've ever asked this before, what it's like? Actually, it's probably easy for me to say this. It would be very difficult for me to imagine myself in another persona, i.e. acting, putting on this mask and preparing for it and acting it, because effectively you're becoming a different person. There might be nuances about that you, but ultimately you're talking about someone that isn't you, really. But is it possible to explain how that makes you feel when you're doing it? Because I know some people are affected by the roles they do. I'm not saying you are, but I don't know how I can't imagine what that's like to do. Is that something you can put into words?
Go ahead.
I think that that's my opinion, that a good actor should try to emerge himself or herself as much as she can or he can into the character you play. So yes, it does affect, because before the shooting you have to be, in order to be organic, you have to try to think and act like the character that you're going to play, because then when you do it, it's just going to be natural because you are in that state. It's much
Yeah.
easier. But to get out of that state is also it's not like, oh, it's finished. You still have that because you work so much within that, try to understand, because you have to understand what the feeling is, truly, not just copy it, but understand it. That's how you can
That's
portray it.
kind of what I was getting at, because I don't know how you can do it and then come out of it, because for instance, let's assume, for instance, that you're a serial killer, which is complete opposite of the person you are. I hope it's a complete opposite of the person you are. So you're switching into the role with chainsaws and hammers, and how are you going to kill these people? So it's a really horrible, brutal role. And then suddenly you're going home and you're having a cup of tea or a glass of wine and putting on EastEnders or whatever you watch, yeah? So I find it's very difficult for me to understand how, I mean, that's the art, that's your career, and that's the job you do, but it's very difficult for people like me that aren't involved in anything like that to understand how you can do that. Then I suppose if you couldn't do it, you wouldn't be doing it, yeah?
Yeah.
But even so, it must be, I mean, is there a mechanism? I don't know. I know you just said, well, it's hard to switch out, but you've got to do that, haven't you?
Yeah.
But how do you come out of that role?
Well, that's a
There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of, it's kind of, sometimes some people have their own little secrets as actors and don't want to share it. I think it's your own little thing sometimes to understand what keeps you in that state when you are playing a specific character, and understand the circumstances of the whole situation that you're in. And beyond that, the words of the script are sort of a hold of you. They have so much power once you're on set and the director says action. Then there's something that happens that you're not anymore yourself, but you're the character that you're supposed to play.
And in hindsight, when you are what I call spinning plates, you're producing, you're co-producing, co-writing, acting. Is it too many plates that are spinning? Because let's be honest, there's a lot to take on, isn't it? Yeah, you're really
Yeah.
You're the bread and the butter of the production. I know you're not directing, but even so, at the end of the day, if you're producing, without being crude, it's your money that's on the line, yeah? And people are going to, if there's a big cock up, people are going to say there's a big problem, people are going to come to you. So you've got all that to deal with. So is it, would you, I guess what I'm saying is, would you do it again? Are you happy to do it again?
I think it's a learning curve. You get to understand what you wouldn't do. You learn through this experience, you understand how you would change certain things, how you would improve it. If you have more money, of course, you get to have more flexibility to do certain things. But the hard way, learning the hard way teaches you a lot,
Right.
to be ready in the future to give even more of yourself on a small or big production. So I think the fact that we learned it the hard way taught us a lot.
We are doing it again already.
I'm sorry.
We are already doing it again.
Oh, right. So, okay.
Yeah. Working on a new script and
Another short film, or was this?
This time it's a feature.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. As we speak, we are working on it every day. So.
I think if I had an advice to upcoming filmmakers or people who just want to start. That's my own opinion, but I think start with a short. Do not invest a lot of money. Learn, fail, and then do it again until you improve and you know, okay, this was bad. This I'll improve it this way. Everybody's different. Do not listen to any other person who tells you don't do it. Jump on a feature, even if you got the money. Don't do a feature immediately. Try with a short. I personally thought at some point, I could do a feature, but no. You're not ready until you start doing a short, go through the curve of the beginning to meeting with people from the crew, the production. You're gonna have a lot of troubles, a lot of problems in the course of the creation of your movie. So do a short, learn, and then move on to the feature if you want. Don't waste your money on a feature if you don't have any experience. That's it.
I think that's good advice. There's a feature here, and the guy, it was his first film, and he'd never made a film before. And I don't know the first thing about filmmaking, but who am I to sort of suggest? But it would seem fairly logical to start with short films first, because you need to get your hands dirty, don't you?
Exactly.
You know? And also, every filmmaker that I've spoken to, I've said, well, what did you learn from that first film to now? Well, the fuck-ups. basically, excuse my language. You know, I knew what I was doing wrong and how I could shave money here and save time. And you kind of need, I guess, to do that to realise, because now I'm quite sure your experience, both of you obviously very experienced, the way that you'd make a film now must be completely different from the way you make a film previously, because you know, you've done it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know, a carpenter or a plumber or whatever you do, you know the way to do things quicker and more efficiently.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other day. We were talking about the competitiveness there is, you know, the look and with acting and actresses and everything to do with, I know, Hollywood. Is there any time, I know filmmaking's addictive, I know that's why you do it, I get that. But do you ever wake up and think, oh, shit, what am I doing?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What am I doing? No.
Never crossed your mind?
It's the day I decided to become an actor, I knew what I was engaging myself. And I was old enough to understand my choice. I think the problem is sometimes people are too young to understand the reality of that job. And it's not a mistake, it's just sometimes we're just too young. If I was too young to take that decision early on to become an actor, I probably wouldn't be as strong now to sort of confront the reality of the business. You have to really be mature to understand what you're going through, and that the glamorous part might never come or might come one day, but you have no idea when. You really have to understand that there's a lot of compromises and sacrifices.
A lot of no's. We talked about this the other day, didn't we?
Well, for me, yes, I do.
You do have doubts.
Oh my God, yes. I'll tell you this. If I wasn't born to be an actress, if it wasn't in my blood, if it wasn't like a necessity, and if I didn't have any talent, I would never choose to be an actor. Never. I think that would be one of the last things. I find it amazing when girls go for acting or guys go for acting to become famous, you know, for other reasons than the passion of acting. Because it is a tough industry, and that's the reality. Either they want to say it or not, it is tough. The competition, and it's not just about talent, it's not just about look, it's about looks, talent, luck. It's so out of your control that if I think if I could be reborn and if God asked me, would you like to be to have this talent as an actress, I would say no. Please make me a lawyer
or a doctor or a dentist or something.
Yes, something that it's like I can hold on to, even if sometimes I see people like, oh, my life's so boring, but at least they have certain certainties that we don't have. So it is a wonderful journey, but it is scary, and yes, I wouldn't do it if I wasn't born to do it, really.
Well, we talked about, I think it was the other day when I said this actress said she went for an audition of 800 actresses, and I think you said that's not uncommon. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is tough competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
God,
it's the denial. It's sort of next. You gotta be ready and have the right mindset to accept that people are gonna reject you for many times. Maybe not if you're this like 0.9% that they got lucky. Great, but for most actors, you have to have a tough, thick skin.
it's like going for a job interview every day.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
That's it. It's like you're preparing for a job interview, and you can imagine it's such a pressure because you have to give your best just basically every day, maybe twice a day, thrice a day, as many times as it's necessary, and it's going to be like that for the rest of our lives. Even when I have some friends that are been acting for a long time and they're quite successful, they say it's the same still for them to get a role. So
yeah, it's tough, hard business, hard competition. You have to have the heart and.
So if one of your friends came up to you who'd never shown an interest in acting and said, "Do you know what, I've been thinking about this. I really fancy working in the film industry. I fancy becoming an actor." What on earth would you say to them?
I wouldn't say don't try. I think you should always try whatever you have in mind. And if you have it in your heart, get it out of your way, try it and do it. But the reality will kick in very fast. So it's all good. Maybe the person will love it, that they're ready to do, make sacrifices, and that's fine. But yeah, the reality is not. It's not. There are sacrifices. That's what I think is important to remember. It's not just you're going for a job. Maybe within a year you'll find your job, and after several interviews you get a job. In acting, it takes a little bit more time to be stable.
And you know what? I would say just go for it. Because if this person is not, if he or she doesn't have the talent, it won't last. But maybe Hollywood's Hollywood. Maybe somebody sees this person and says, "Oh,
You're my next Tom Cruise. I don't care if you can act or you can act. We fake everything."
and then boom."
So I wouldn't say don't go for it. I would say go for it, but it's tough.
And despite all the questions about the negative, people need to know about this,
Yeah.
because I know, from speaking to hundreds of filmmakers, the glitz and glamour that people assume, I know is absolute bollocks. It's like a tiny, tiny, tiny proportion. And actually, filmmaking is hugely, painfully difficult. Sleepless nights, looking for money, locations, just endless sleepless nights. I know all that. But despite all of that, yet here you still are making films. So the upside must be, what is the upside?
Well, like I said, I can't explain, but when you're born to do something, when I find it fascinating to, if I am able to portray somebody else's life and pain, or make people understand what other people go through, I don't know, it's such a reward. I can't explain, but I find it beautiful. So then everything else that is bad is behind, at least for that moment that I am acting.
And it must be incredible that when you finish, well, like Alone as an example, despite any problems you may have had filming it, and I deliberately didn't want to talk about because I know there's always problems. When there's all this said and done, you see that film for the first time, finished, in front of an audience, the final cut, well, we hope it's the final cut, you see it for the first time, sitting there, and then suddenly what goes through, it must be an amazing feeling. It's very difficult to describe.
Yeah, it is. Do you want to say something?
Well, if you're only the actor, yeah. But because we act, produced, wrote, it's just, you don't see it the same. But yeah, it's like, wow, we made it.
I think there's another thing we didn't talk about that is important to remind people as well, is especially when you have a plot that you like, that you're passionate about, it drives you.
Of course, yeah.
It drives you beyond all these mistakes and troubles and issues you're going to confront.
Because you're interested in
exactly, and you have something that you want to convey to the people. You have a message beyond the fact that you're as an actor, because here, we are producers and we wrote it, but the fact that we wanted to, the condition that we were trying to expose to the audience was very important to us. That's important to remember. Like, we were very passionate about that project because it's a subject that is extremely important nowadays, to remind people that these things exist in poor countries and well-developed countries. And it's important that it is not stigmatized and not judged, but accepted.
Especially in LA. I mean, everyone, they take their snapshot, and I'm so happy. But
social media,
I've not been. It just comes from what I've heard. It just, to me, I might be completely wrong. It just seems a little bit fake and shallow. And when I hear people talk about it, and that's kind of the reason I haven't gone. I'm just thinking I don't really want to go there. To be honest with you, I'd rather go to San Francisco, frankly,
Yeah.
than LA.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's an amazing place.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I know it's a huge sprawl, and I'm sure some parts are incredible, but would I like to go there? I don't really care about going there or not, to be fair. And again, you know, like moving away from that, it just seems that the whole, not the dark side of the underbelly, because I don't really have an idea, but the difficulty is filmmaking in itself I know is an incredibly hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, how many projects have been started and then bailed out, you know, 9/10 the
Yeah.
way through? There must be thousands of them, you know, and that must be an absolute killer,
Yeah.
you know, or you're signed up, you're about to start and the money's pulled. It
Yeah.
happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's maybe something addictive to like start a project once you're involved, and for actors, I think sometimes like once you get the script and if it's luckily well written and you like the material, you want to go there, you want to start digging in and understand better like what's going on in those characters. So there's something that drives you in general, even for producers, that they want to see this whole project come to life. For someone who wrote it, if you wrote it, you want to like finally see like it's never the way you imagined when you were first writing it. It's never like that. There are things that change location and, you know, actors, and sometimes at the last minute a monologue changed in our case at the last minute, which actually was incredible.
So it turned out to be the right choice.
Yeah, the right choice. So sometimes what you wrote since the beginning ends up changing at the last minute, and it's for the better. Those little moments are actually quite fun, enjoyable.
What about writing a comedy?
I think that's his forte. Mine is drama.
I would imagine comedy must be I mean, it's all hard, but because you've got to be good at writing comedy, isn't it? That must be tough.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm even good enough to play in a comedy.
No, you are. Many people told me.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
I am.
Because she's naturally funny. She doesn't have to, and that's what you need as usually in comedy. You don't have to work hard, just let it, you say the words, but the way you are is funny.
My wife's naturally funny, that's why she's with me.
Okay. Well,
that's
why
good.
not comedy? I think, you know. I don't see any limit usually for actors. Some people have limits or don't like certain genre. I personally, I like everything. I don't have really.
No, for me it would be the last thing I would
You
think
try your
about
hand at
working.
what, comedy?
Yeah. I think I would. As an actor, of course, I can improve a lot, and I think when I get there, perhaps when I think that I'm good enough, then maybe I will want to do it. But for now, I think I stick to drama. He's very good in comedy. I mean,
I don't know if I'm very
He
good.
can't be Swiss. They don't have senses.
I know.
Like Germans.
German.
Yeah.
They just have more money.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've never met a poor person from Switzerland.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Okay, so just finally, as a percentile of what you hoped you'd achieve with this, let's assume it's 100%. It can't be 100%. There's no perfect film. But what is your percentage of what you hoped this would be to what you actually got?
Our objective was to get to Cannes Film Festival, to tell you the truth, and we got there. So I'm happy.
So is that an 80%?
Mission is accomplished.
Okay.
And no complaints. We've learned a lot together, and I'm very happy where we are. So, of course, there are things you can improve, but that's always the case, and it's for our next projects. I'm really happy that we started with something. We got lucky that we got accepted in big festivals such as Madrid. So, no complaints.
You don't have to give me a number, don't worry.
No, I mean,
no, honestly, you
okay.
don't. No. And the same?
Yeah, the same. I think that I didn't even, like he said, when we start working on it, he said we're going to Cannes, like right when we started writing it. So I'm like, okay. He's like, no, we're going to Cannes. I said, okay, let's do it. And we did it. And then after that, I did not expect to have been accepted in the festival in Beverly Hills or in Madrid.
You just don't know, do you?
Right.
No.
The nomination,
She's nominated as Best Lead Actress in Madrid. So this was a gigantic, enormous achievement.
it was because,
It is.
yeah, just because I wasn't expecting at all. When he told me on the phone, I was in Norway, he was in Switzerland. I said, please,
You went Norway, did you say?
I was in Norway.
Nice.
And he was in Switzerland, and he's like, no, it's true. I just got an email, you were nominated. I was like, what? You were nominated? I was like, no. I thought it was a joke. I think I asked him maybe 10 times. And so it was it's 100%, I guess. It's,
No, really well done.
Yeah.
it's more than I expected. I did
Not expect anything like that.
that, so.
I do have one more question.
Yes.
Can you tell me one fun fact about yourself that's nothing to do with film?
I can be very desperate when I'm working. She knows it. I don't know if it's fun. For her, it's funny, but for me, it's not. When I am working, I am extremely serious, and you might think it's the Swiss side, but I like things to be well organized, on time. I'm on top of things. I don't like to leave space for mistakes. Of course, the unexpected mistakes will happen. But I'm very like that. Then she laughs at me because I'm.
It's the Swiss side.
It's, I guess so.
Trains that are perfectly on time, cuckoo clocks, watches. It's Swiss. There's nothing wrong with that because I like punctuality.
Yeah.
It's a big thing of mine, and I'm always on time. I'm never late. It really bugs me.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. That's not necessarily a fun thing.
Yeah.
I bet it's an annoying thing, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm
But
with you on that.
from the outside, for some people, I guess it's funny because some people are more chilled, laid back, and they see you so much into your thing.
They might see it as a fun thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what about you?
I think it's the fact that I'm opposite. I'm very ballistic. I will hardly say no. Like if a friend wants to do something,
I'll have
like,
a pint of beer, please.
I'm sorry?
I'll have a pint of beer, please.
Yes.
No, but if you want to do something really crazy, you can count on me.
Oh, right, okay.
As long as it's not,
Right, cartwheels around the room.
Yeah.
That's it now.
Yeah.
Walking on your hands.
Yeah, but I will, I think I am, with my friends, I would say, oh, you want to do something crazy right now? Want to go up in the mountains? I'll say yes, probably. Most likely I would say yes, let's do it. Like when we went camping, he's like, I dare you to go camping and, just be there without, just looking crazy and hot. And I said, let's do it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It has to be Egyptian cotton sheets for me. So sorry. Anyway, look, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.